everybody, Tim here with another movie review, this time for Black Panther. This is the newest film in the MCU, and this time it's directed by Ryan Coogler, and it stars Chadwick Bozeman as the title character, Black Panther. It also stars Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker, Lupita Nyong'o, Michael B. Jordan. This is a big cast, and it's a big movie. This is a Marvel movie. Whenever a Marvel movie comes up and is coming out in theaters, I personally get very excited. I'm a big fan of the MCU and Marvel movies in general, but specifically the MCU. I've grown up with these movies. I love these movies, so naturally, I'm very excited for Black Panther. Plus, the hype around this movie was really real. I'm a big fan of Ryan Coogler. His other two films, Fruitvale Station and Creed, are two incredible films, and Creed has some of the best fight scenes I've seen in a very long time. The one take fight that people always talk about from Creed is fantastic, and Ryan Coogler has once again knocked it out of the park with Black Panther. Now, it's not a perfect film. There are things that I didn't really love about it, and we'll get into that. But first, I want to talk about the story of the movie. And the story here is that this takes place right after Civil War. Seriously, maybe a week, 2 weeks tops after Civil War, and T'Challa has just been named King of Wakanda, and he is the Black Panther now, after his father was killed in Captain America Civil War. And he has to learn how to be a king, how to be a warrior, how to save his people when these new threats like Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, and Ulysses Claw show up and start threatening his reign as king. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the story other than that, only because I thought the trailers did a pretty decent job of hiding what the main story in this movie was. I knew that obviously it was about the Black Panther, Wakanda stuff, fighting and action, but other than that, you don't really know too much about the plot itself. And when you do realize what the plot actually is, and when it starts really ramping up and kicking in, this is one of the best emotional plots in a Marvel movie we've had in a while. Now, I really liked Thor Ragnarok, and I liked Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I liked Spider-Man Homecoming, and those were all good movies that I thought had fun plots, and they were fun movies. But this is the first serious Marvel movie in a while. Now, there are some laughs, and there are some Marvel-isms, you might say, but this is a more serious movie. The direction by Coogler is fantastic. He takes this darker story and still makes it interesting and fun and vibrant and colorful, but has that emotional tone to go along with it. And the performances here are out of control. Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, the Black Panther, he's fantastic. He's by far one of the most interesting characters to hit the screens in the MCU. But the real standout here for me personally is Michael B. Jordan. I know a lot of people are saying that this is the best villain since Loki. I don't know about that. I'd say he's probably just on par with Michael Keaton's Vulture, who I thought was one of the better Marvel villains we've gotten in quite some time. I don't think Killmonger is as good as Loki, but he's a great villain, and the reason he's a great villain is we learn about his backstory. He has a reason to be there. He's an important part of the plot. That's not to say the other villains in other Marvel movies aren't important to the plot. Ronan the Accuser was definitely an important part of Guardians of the Galaxy, but he wasn't the reason why you saw Guardians of the Galaxy. Halfway through the movie, I found myself wanting to know more about Killmonger and see more time with him than T'Challa. And that's not to say Chadwick Boseman is bad. Like I said, he's great. But Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger is by far the best part of this movie. And like I said, it's a colorful movie, it's a vibrant movie, but it's serious, and it's such an interesting film. And that's the thing that it transcends the superhero genre. It didn't feel like a superhero movie. It felt like a film, like an important movie. And I think that's different than what we've gotten recently with like Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man, and Guardians. However, there are some problems with this movie that I have. I think the pacing is a bit slow in the first 30 to 45 minutes. This movie's 2 hours and 15 minutes, and it did drag on for a bit in the beginning, and for a bit towards the end, it did start to drag on. And I've got to be honest, the action scenes in the movie were good. I enjoyed the action scenes, but they weren't what I'm thinking about when the movie's over. When the movie ended, and I was thinking on it, I've only seen it once, and I've been thinking about it a lot today. It's been about 18 hours since I've seen the movie, and the more and more I think about it, I'm thinking about T'Challa and Killmonger and their relationship and their character moments and the character moments of T'Challa's sister, whose name I can't remember, and his mother, whose name I can't remember. But all these characters that have these little character beats were so much more interesting to me this time around than the action, which is different than usual. In Spider-Man, it was all about those action scenes, and granted, I loved Peter Parker in that movie and the Vulture, but the action scenes were great. Same with Guardians, I was all about those action scenes. This time around, the action scenes are good, but they're fewer than normal, and I liked that this time only because I got more of those character moments. But then it does make you think, did I want more action? Did I want a little bit more out of those action sequences in this 2 hour and 15-minute movie? So there's still good action scenes. I just wish that they would have been just as good as all those little character beats that we were getting throughout the rest of the movie. Well, anyway, guys, Black Panther is a hell of a ride at the movies. I do think that it's right about on par with all these other movies we've been getting recently from the MCU, and I don't think that's a bad thing. It's about on par with it in the sense that they're all different. Guardians of the Galaxy was a giant space comedy. Spider-Man was a coming-of-age story, and Thor Ragnarok was another space comedy, I guess, but Black Panther's a little bit something, it's something else. It talks about social issues that are very, very prominent today, which was a very good thing because it didn't beat you over the head with it. It just was in there perfectly. And it's a more serious movie, and again, it does have those laughs, it does have those Marvel moments, but it's such a more important movie, I feel, than these other ones we've been seeing recently. And I highly recommend you check out Black Panther, but be known it does drag a bit in the beginning, and those action scenes aren't quite as good as some other Marvel movies, but it's still a hell of a ride. And I did see this movie in 3D, and the 3D it's pretty good for a Marvel film. Usually their 3D is a bit but this time around it was pretty awesome. So anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on Black Panther. If you've watched me for any amount of time, you know I'm a big Marvel fan, and I also like to ramble. So thanks for listening to me ramble about Marvel and my jumbled thoughts here for a few minutes. So let me know if you're planning on going to see Black Panther this weekend, and if you are, what are you excited about it? Did I make you more excited, or are you just about at that same level? And once you have seen it, or if you have seen it, let me know what you thought about it. I'd love to hear what you thought about it. Well, anyway, guys, thanks as always for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and hit subscribe. It helps me out a great deal, and it helps you stay up to date with all of my latest videos. And until next time, guys, have a good one.